Have you ever seen a Ford Mustang and thought, yeah, that's just another car from the 60s? Well, you haven't seen anything yet. Some Mustangs throughout history have transcended the simple concept of affordable transportation and turned into something that would make automotive historians lose their minds. Today, we're counting down the 7 levels of the Ford Mustang Classic. Automotive legends that prove sometimes the right car at the right moment can change everything. From forgotten base models that barely made an impression to ultra-rare variants that command prices higher than most houses, these Mustangs represent American muscle evolution from invisible to absolutely legendary. So buckle up and hit that subscribe button, because we're about to explore some truly iconic machinery. Level 1. The Forgettable Economy Models. These are the Mustangs nobody ever thinks about, like the 1974 Mustang II with the 2.3-liter four-cylinder. I mean, who even remembers this one exists? It's like the participation trophy of muscle cars. Sure, it ran, and yeah, it was cheap, but it's about as memorable as that relative you avoid at family reunions who only talks about their diet. The Mustang II entered the market during the 1973 oil crisis as Ford's desperate answer to fuel prices and new regulations. It produced 88 horsepower. Let me say that again. 88 horsepower in a Mustang. This thing weighed 2,600 pounds and took about 14 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour, giving you plenty of time to question your life decisions. The most exciting thing about the base Mustang II is that it technically kept the nameplate alive. Collectors don't want it. Enthusiasts pretend it doesn't exist. Even Ford probably wishes they could forget about it. The Mustang II is living proof that you can wear a legendary badge and still be completely anonymous. The same goes for the 1979 to 1981 Mustang with the troublesome 2.3-liter turbo four-cylinder. It promised performance with 132 horsepower, but delivered mostly disappointment and overheating. Both work as transportation, but neither one is keeping you up at night dreaming about them. Level 2. The Honest Daily Drivers. But the next level has a little bit of heat. The 1965 Mustang with the 289 V8 represents this level perfectly. This was the engine that transformed the Mustang from a secretary's car into something that could actually move. With 225 horsepower, the 289 gave the Mustang legitimate performance credentials without breaking the bank. The 289 V8 was reliable, affordable to maintain, and provided that V8 rumble that the six-cylinder just couldn't match. This combination became the bread and butter of Mustang sales. Ford sold hundreds of thousands of these, and they're still everywhere at car shows today. Weighing around 2,800 pounds, the handling was predictable for the era. This was the Mustang that appeared in driveways across America, took families on vacation, and gave teenagers their first taste of V8 power. Enthusiasts respect the 289 Mustang. It's the reliable friend who always shows up, but nobody's writing epic stories about it. It's not winning best in show. It's just really, really good at being a Mustang. And sometimes that's enough to rise above the forgettable models, but not enough to become legendary. The 1966 to 1968 Mustang Coupes with the 289 also fit here. Beautiful cars genuinely significant in automotive history. But when someone says Dream Mustang, these aren't anyone's first answer. Level 3. The Real Performers. The 1965 to 1966 Mustang GT with the 271 horsepower, 289 high-performance engine lives at Level 3. This is where the Mustang got serious about performance. The GT package added special badges, fog lights, disc brakes, and most importantly, the high-performance K-Code 289 with a 4-barrel carburetor and solid lifters. This engine could rev to 6,000 revolutions per minute, which was high for the mid-1960s. Quarter-mile times dropped into the high 15-second range at around 90 miles per hour, genuinely quick for the era. The GT package showed Ford was listening to enthusiasts who wanted more than just pretty styling. K-Code Mustangs were built in relatively limited numbers compared to standard models. They cost more, required premium fuel, and demanded attention from their owners. But they delivered genuine performance that justified the expense. Here's the thing though, the GT with the 289 high performance is the solid performer that established credibility, but it's not the one people daydream about. It's like that reliable player on a championship team who does everything right but never makes the highlight reel. The 1967 to 1968 GT models with the 289 or 302 also fit here. Both have substance, both have real performance, but both always play backup to more powerful, more famous Mustangs. Level 4. The Big Block Bruisers. The 1967 to 1968. Mustang GT with the 390 V8 has real heat at this level. Ford's Big Block 390 produced 320 horsepower and 427 lb-ft of torque. This was the engine that gave the Mustang the straight-line grunt to compete with big block Chevelles and GTOs. The 390 GT ran the quarter mile in the low 15-second range, serious muscle car performance for the late 1960s. That massive torque meant effortless acceleration from any speed. Floor it at 30 miles per hour, and the 390 would light up the rear tires and surge forward with authority. What made the 390 GT special was the complete package. Beefed up suspension, functional hood scoops on 1968 models, wider tires, upgraded cooling. Everything was engineered to handle the big block's power and weight. This wasn't just more powerful, it was properly developed. The 390 GT became popular with drag racers who wanted maximum acceleration. The distinctive rumble of the big block announced your arrival from blocks away. But even with all that going for it, the 390 GT lives in the shadow of more legendary Mustangs. Today, clean 390 GTs command strong prices and have passionate followings. They just don't have that ultimate cachet. The 1969 to 1970 Mach 1 with the 351 Cleveland also lives here. Beautiful, strong performance, but not quite legendary. Level 5. The Racing Pedigree. The 1965 Shelby GT 350 is the standout at this level. Not just a Mustang, but the first Shelby Mustang. Proof the platform could become a legitimate racing machine. Carroll Shelby took Ford's pony car and turned it into a track weapon that embarrassed Corvettes. In 1965, Ford wanted to race an SCCA competition, but needed homologation. They turned to Carroll Shelby, the legendary builder who created the Cobra. Shelby took Mustang fastbacks, stripped weight, installed high-performance 289 engines making 306 horsepower, upgraded suspension, added a Detroit locker differential, and created something special. The GT 350 featured side exhausts, Shelby's signature racing stripes, functional brake cooling scoops, and a mean attitude. The interior was stripped with racing seats and a roll bar. The rear seat was replaced with fiberglass because race car. These cars were brutal. Heavy clutch, harsh ride, heavy steering at low speeds. Everything said race car with plates. But on winding roads or tracks, the GT 350 was brilliant. It handled with precision, stopped with authority thanks to oversized front discs, and the 289 screamed to 7,000 revolutions per minute. Only 562 GT 350S were built in 1965, making them genuinely rare. They won SCCA championships and established Shelby's reputation. Today, original 1965 GT 350S sell for six figures. But the GT 350, despite its racing pedigree, remains the if-you-know Mustang, respected by enthusiasts but overshadowed by even more legendary variants. Level 6. The Ultimate Street Fighter. The 1967 to 1968 Shelby GT 500 has all the ingredients for Hall of Fame status. This was Shelby's answer to, what if we put a massive engine in a Mustang? The GT 500 featured Ford's 428 Police Interceptor V8, officially rated at 355 horsepower, but actually producing well over 400. The GT 500 was built for straight-line speed and intimidation. The hood featured a massive fiberglass scoop. The front end was completely redesigned with a fiberglass nose featuring driving lights and aggressive styling. Side scoops, rear ducktail spoiler, and wide stripes announced this wasn't just another Mustang. Inside, the GT 500 was surprisingly civilized compared to the stripped GT 350. Air conditioning was available, the interior was comfortable, and you could daily drive it if you were brave enough to constantly feed it premium fuel. But make no mistake, this thing was fast. Quarter-mile times in the high 13-second range at over 100 miles per hour. Supercar territory in 1967. The torque could break the rear tires loose at will. The GT 500 became an icon almost immediately. It appeared in magazines, won drag races, and established itself as the ultimate street Mustang. Today, clean GT 500S command prices well into six figures, with exceptional examples approaching $500,000 at auction. The GT 500 is Hall of Fame material, absolutely legendary and historically significant. Level 7. The Untouchable Legend. The ultimate Mustang sits alone at the top. The original 1968 Ford Mustang GT 390. Fastback from Bullitt, driven by Steve McQueen. This Highland Green Mustang didn't just appear in a movie. It participated in the greatest car chase scene ever filmed, a 10-minute masterpiece that defined cool for generations. Steve McQueen, the king of cool himself, drove this Mustang through San Francisco streets, chasing a Dodge Charger in a scene that changed action movies forever. No music, just engines roaring, tires screeching, and cars flying over San Francisco's steep hills. McQueen did much of his own driving, and the raw, visceral chase created automotive immortality. The Bullitt Mustang wasn't heavily modified. It had the 390 V8, upgraded suspension for stunts and safety equipment. But the combination of car, driver, location, and filmmaking created magic. After filming, the car disappeared for decades, becoming mythology. Then, in 2018, it resurfaced at the Detroit Auto Show, and the automotive world lost its mind. The actual Bullitt Mustang, owned by the same family since 1974, hidden in Tennessee, barely changed from its movie appearance. Ford offered any price. The family refused. When eventually sold at Macomb Auctions in January 2020, it brought $3.74 million. For a GT 390, that wasn't mechanically special. But it wasn't just a car, it was cinema history, cultural heritage, and the coolest movie car ever filmed. The Bullitt Mustang stands alone because it represents something beyond horsepower or rarity. It captured a perfect moment where car, driver, and circumstance aligned to create immortality. Every enthusiast knows the Bullitt. Every car person respects it. It transcended being a Mustang and became an icon of American cool. From forgotten economy models to the most famous movie car in history, the Mustang's journey through these 7 levels tells the story of American automotive culture. Each level represents not just performance or rarity, but growing cultural significance and emotional connection. That's the magic of the Mustang. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.